忍びの時代は終わる。
I think Boruto is better than Naruto, and this isn't clickbait completely. As a show, Naruto is an absolute classic, an anime with so much nostalgia and iconicness that its presence in the community will never go understated, whereas Boruto to a lot of people has always been its annoying younger sibling, the one you wish was never born, the little sibling that you ignore in school because they kind of cramp your style, the younger sibling that grows up one day and starts becoming your best friend. So you are on the same page as me. Okay, maybe not yet, but you will be. I think it all begins with a famous quote.
Believe it!
Not now, Naruto. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. See, what I actually love about the character of Boruto is that he is the fruit of Naruto's labor. He is the fruition of peace. I feel like a chunk of the complaints I've heard is that he is a spoiled brat and has no real story to him. But honestly, I think the opposite is true. To me, Naruto did have a more depressing story, but his character was always an over-the-top eccentric ball of joy. Okay, go now.
Believe it! Believe it!
My problem with Naruto was that as much as I loved the show, I had a hard time liking him. I love Sasuke, Kakashi, Madara, Itachi, Shikamaru, Gaara, Rock Lee, Jiraiya, Nagato, Sarutobi, Tsunade. They were all really interesting and cool characters, but I didn't love Naruto. And don't get me wrong, he had his moments and he was still awesome in general, but I felt a huge disconnect from him. To me, it was just another loud, immature shonen protagonist. And maybe I had seen too many other shows in my life already, but it really didn't connect with me. Now let me stop right there. That doesn't mean Naruto was bad by any means, but holy shit, did I feel like I connected with Boruto more. If anything, Boruto made me even like Naruto more. Boruto is the epitome of our generation. Technology is thriving and changing the landscape of humanity. We are more connected now globally than we have ever been, similar to the era of peace in Boruto. Just like Naruto and his generation, the last generation of our world had created the quote-unquote good times. And this is not to say that I follow this quote entirely. We aren't weak by any standard, but me having the luxury of attempting to make these videos rather than hustling at a really difficult job till the stress gets me is a testament to this new world we are in. I say all this to say Boruto felt real and relatable. And the awesome thing is the message of the show is the message of life. No one way is right. Once we progress towards using technology, we have an even better version of ourselves than anyone prior to us could have ever had access to. And aside from the deeper stuff, Boruto also wasn't as whiny as people say. He's a main character that just actually had a relationship with his father and has reasonable complaints about his absenteeism, which is why it made me love Naruto more, because Naruto not growing up with a father and having to learn how to be Boruto is an interesting dynamic for me with the characters. Boruto felt like an untraumatized Sasuke to me. He was cool but extremely naive, and coming from the world of Naruto, it's kind of amazing to see. The world Naruto and everyone worked so hard to create is finally here, and the new problem is that no one knows what it takes to be strong anymore. A good problem in the eyes of Naruto and everyone else. It's a problem that opens up the story a lot, because the struggle to change who he is and become strong is a struggle that just feels very relatable. A struggle that made me so excited remembering the first scene of the first episode, when Boruto, wearing Sasuke's headband, squares off against Kawaki on top of Naruto's Mount Rushmore face, while Kawaki's telling him the Hokage is gone, panning over to see the entire Leaf Village is already destroyed. It was crazy. To see Boruto go from being a spoiled child to someone who can handle that level of calamity is something that got me really excited, not only for the character, but even the show. Also, his powers are cool AF. Being the derivative of Otsutsuki, Naruto, and Hinata, while being trained by Sasuke is f***ing awesome. Are you kidding me? How could any diehard Naruto fan not be intrigued by the Jogan, Vanishing Rasengans, Otsutsuki Karma? It's just cool. And on top of all this, what also really helped bring home my love for Boruto was his other half, Kawaki. When I look back at the Naruto anime, I hated how annoyingly Naruto would chase after Sasuke with completely unrequited love. Like, don't get me wrong here, please. I appreciate the show, but something about how Naruto pursued the relationship just didn't feel real. Whereas Boruto's relationship with Kawaki feels very real. They seem like genuine siblings that have different viewpoints at times. They feel like they're on the same side, with the thing that tears them apart being how they perceive the issue. Naruto and Sasuke, on the other hand, felt like they were on completely different ends of the spectrum. It feels more like a rivalry, almost an enemies to lovers situation, and many times I didn't enjoy it. Not because I didn't understand or appreciate its merit in the story, but because of what I felt was a one-dimensional approach from Naruto's side. Boruto and Kawaki's nuances have having the same goals and problems, but having different solutions, and that being the reason for their divide, was appreciated by me because it didn't feel like either character was chasing or rejecting the other. They felt like siblings that didn't agree. For all these reasons, I think I like Boruto better than Naruto as a character. But, it's a huge but,
1,000 years of death!
Although as a character I love Boruto more than Naruto, he suffers from being a part of a show that wasn't as good. The show does have some problems. For one, there's way too much filler, which makes it kind of hard for some people to get into the show if they don't understand what they need to skip. And if you watch even some of these filler episodes, you'll spawn a hatred for Boruto deeper than the hatred Obito had. So if you're even remotely interested in watching Boruto, please use my watch guide. I made one for Boruto just like how I did for One Piece earlier. At the very least, it'll give this show a fighting chance to be enjoyed. And that is the key word here, enjoyed. This is not the best show ever. This is not Attack on Titan. This is not a classic. And if you're caught up on the manga, it's way better, but obviously it's still not the best. But even though it's not the best, it's enjoyable. The content which is canon feels nostalgic. It's fun seeing our beloved main characters grown up and stronger than before. It's fun to see more of this world. It's fun to love Boruto and Team 7. It's fun to meet Kawaki. This doesn't have to be the best, and if you remove the fillers, I promise you, it's also not the worst. This show has something worth watching, and that something is potential. I didn't make this video to really incite any community drama. We all know Naruto is a better watch than Boruto. I made this to bring light to something I feel like doesn't get talked about enough. Boruto is cool, he's not lame, and at the very least, just like the first scene of episode 1, there's excitement in how much potential he could really have. Now, will that potential ever become something worth its salt? Honestly, I don't know. I'm caught up on the manga post time skip, and although I am still really enjoying it, I find myself not having the OMG moment as of yet. There are a lot of fun ideas, a lot of cool character designs, and general story stuff, but I can't say that it's found its footing and what its potential could be. From my understanding though, Kishimoto has picked up the writing of Boruto from here on out, so maybe there is hope still. But hey, even if it doesn't reach its potential, I'm proud to say that I do like Boruto, and I did enjoy parts of the show that weren't filler. I loved the world of Naruto as a kid, and it's nice to see some more from it every now and again. I made this video for anyone with a guilty pleasure show. Sometimes as a community we can debate a lot about what's the best, who's the strongest, who has the most drip, but sometimes we can also just say, hey man, I don't know, I kind of enjoyed it. Sometimes we can stop the debates and just realize it's Boruto, bitch. Please subscribe.